Welcome back to another episode of Anime Brothers. In today's episode, we will be continuing Power Rangers seasons 1 through 4 in our part 2. Alright, let's get it, fellas.
Nah, but it's just like, yo, and then when the Alien Rangers Zord like fused together, it's like, yo, how did the Zords combine and y'all still like in your individual forms right now? It didn't make any sense. They were so lame. I will say this though, during the Alien Rangers saga with Master Val, my favorite part is when they found and they included the Shogun Megazord. That was the Shogun Megazord was beast. That might be one of my favorite Megazords.
Isn't that the Megazord that could always kill something in one hit but never did? Like it took the sword and then go and then, but like that was like his finishing move. But like he never actually used it.
I think that might have been the Thunder Zord. The Thunder Zord?
That was the Thunder Sword because the sword would light up, and then he would like.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That really feels like a Shogun move to me, but that's okay. We're gonna move on from that.
Shogun Megazord was beast.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
hey,
why you hate that it had to come in at the same time at the expense of with like giving us the Alien Rangers? Like the Alien Rangers was like its own mini season within Mighty Morphin because the kids couldn't morph.
Yeah, but it was like a couple of episodes. I wouldn't even say a mini season. But I want to give a shout out to the Alien Rangers because that is the one and only Power Rangers, like from all the seasons, not just the ones we're talking about, where they had a female leader.
True.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, and they did the product testing on that one, and I guess it didn't fly apparently. Because
the Shogun Megazord did have they did have a big ass sword. I just couldn't remember its attack. It did, but it did have a big ass sword.
Did it do the swoop? Did it do the swoop that Jamil wanted?
Might have.
No. I'm a single blade cut kind of guy. You know,
single.
Just
my
show
bad.
me.
Single.
Yeah. It had that. He would move up the sword, get in position, and then do his cut. And I was like, whoa, what? Hold on a minute. Like, why you doing that thing?
I YouTube that later, but yeah, Shogun Megazord was beast.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so basically, Zordon had the Rangers as children. He had them, but they went back in time, right, to find the Zeo crystals.
Yeah, that was the last season.
Yeah.
So they got turned in. I think they got turned into kids 2 different times. Because one was when did that continue on from after the Alien Rangers left?
No, I think it was twice. I think they were turning twice. I think the main one, like the big issue one, was when Master Vile did it and an Alien Ranger showed, and then the kids had to go back in time. But I think before that, they were turned into children, but it was like, I think it was like a monster, not like a main boss.
But I don't even think they all went back in time. But the thing about it is, like, I only remember like Tommy's and Aisha's. Aisha's most memorable because she stayed back when Karen, and then switched spots with Karen.
Tanya.
Sorry, my bad, Tanya. My bad, Karen's Turbo. But yeah, she switched back with Tanya, and then Tanya came. Tanya was a beast.
Yeah, she was. I just thought it was interesting because where did she get her martial arts training? Was it in Africa?
In Africa, man.
I heard that too. It was like, she strangely has a really good grasp of martial arts. It's very strange. I don't know.
Yeah. But
Tommy had like two or three like different brothers and a clone in Mighty Morphin. They did so much with it. I was just like, what is going on?
I know. How big is your family? Wow. now that I know I have a brother, I'm gonna make sure I reach out to you. And I'm like, and then he kind of just dropped him.
No, you never heard from him again.
He's like, he had a clone, he had a brother.
Yeah, there's a spirit walk guy, like the guy with the Native American magic or whatever. Like, who never uses it again. Like, yo, wait a second, you just appeared out of nowhere. That would be a really useful skill if you would have happened to put on a Power Ranger uniform.
that was old man Tommy. That was future Tommy. Old man Tommy had to help himself.
Yeah, like dude arrived on a horse, like with the sands, and then like, wait a second, hold on a second. You mean to tell me you can do that? Like you can use real magic, but you don't want to put on a uniform and actually do it? Like, that irked me. That irked me bad.
Nah, but yo, that whole thing was stressful because like, all right, the parents came back, their kids, they got the Zeo crystals, so they get the Zeo crystals, and then they finally were back to their like teenage form, and then the command center blows up. I was like, yo, I was like, yo, this is how it ends. I was like, what the hell is going on? Yep. And this is before I was like paying it. No, I was saying like, and this is before I was like paying attention to like trailers or whatever. So I was just like, how does this end? I was like, what do you mean to be continued?
Yeah. And then right before it blew up, Godar and Rito stole the crystals. So I thought it was like game over.
Yeah. And because they planted the bombs at the command center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somehow they dropped the crystals teleporting away from the command center. I don't know how that happens.
Because they're goofballs.
Yeah. Oh no, we dropped them outside. Let's just dig in this rubble and dig in this rubble. It's the crystals.
Because it wasn't like the Rangers attacked them.
No.
It was they just dropped the crystals. I'm
like, plot hole. But it's Power Rangers.
The funniest thing is just like the Rangers gathered the crystal again, and it was just like you see the ground, it's like, see y'all, and then the ground opens up. I was like, you had a command center underneath the command center? Like what? This whole time. And not only that, did you see how like fresh and lit this command center looked? I couldn't believe it.
And then tell me why.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, tell me why he already had their old uniforms, the outfits
on the wall,
in the on the wall. Like, bro, didn't we just lose the power? We just lost it. Like, how is it?
They already had the suits inside the case. I couldn't believe. I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't get that. And then wait, didn't the command center that's on the surface just like spontaneously put itself back together? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Right.
That did happen.
That did happen. All right. Good.
It somehow came back, even though it was underground. It's supposed to be underground from where they were.
So technically, it was like a psych out. It was like, hey, check out our command center. That's not the real base. Our real base is underneath. We're just faking you out. But
it always confused me because, like, so they all. Oh, that was right. So my bad. Everybody got turned into kids except Billy. Billy was the only one who didn't turn into a kid because that's why there were only 5 crystals.
No, he turned into a kid. He figured out how to turn himself back.
Oh yeah, right. He figured out how to turn himself, but it only worked on him though, right?
Yeah, because Godar and Rito destroyed the device he created.
Right. Yeah. So then that's why I'm like, there were 6 Rangers at the time, but only 5 crystals. I remember Billy was the adult. So then when it came to so it was like, Zeo now we only have 5 crystals, and then Billy, did the self-sacrifice himself. Well, not sacrifice. He stayed alive. He did the selfless act and gave up his role as being a Power Ranger for Rocky to become the Blue Rangers because, Tommy had to be the new leader. Leader was red.
Yep. And, Billy just became the command center main.
Yeah, he was just helping out Alpha from the command center.
Yeah, he became the guy behind the scenes.
Yo, how could we forget about this? Because even before all that, like I said, we're going to be jumping back for a little bit. How do y'all feel about the switch from Kimberly to Catherine?
Oh, stop. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
Kimberly to Catherine.
Tommy got a letter, right? He got like a letter just like to break up, like, yo, I'm done.
That was in Zeo.
That was in Zeo.
I was either in Zeo or that was in Zeo when we knew Kimberly wasn't coming back.
But before that, switch was in Mighty Morphin. Because they were still dating from afar. They were still dating from afar. But so the whole thing.
But we always knew Catherine and Tommy was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Right, how did you feel about the switch?
I was like, my young self was like, why are they doing that? I love Kimberly. Like, I had a crush on her too. Like, I mean, who didn't? But I was like, Kimberly is my love. I can't believe they got rid of her. Like, what's going on? And then the whole thing with Catherine was brainwashed by Rita at first because she was trying to have her trick the Rangers and what was it take them over from within. Yeah,
she actually transformed to a cat.
She did have that ability.
Yeah, whatever. My thing is, they never touched on that ever again. After like she got out of Rita spell, they never touched on her turning into a cat again.
No. And that's kind of like a cool power to have, like if you could transform into a cat and get into small spaces. So like,
right? So that was like, did she only have that power because of Rita? Like,
could be. I mean, like think of all the things that Rita's done up to that moment. The whole Green Ranger power, Candle, all the other stuff. The was it the Putty Rangers? There was a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
Honestly, so like obviously Kimberly was my very first crush, so I was like upset in the beginning, but no, Catherine definitely grew on me, and it was just like, you know what, she's better for Tommy. Like we saw that relationship happening.
Oh, definitely better overall. I would I say she's a better Ranger than Kimberly? I don't know. I feel like Kimberly was a little too ditzy, like the whole like, oh, I'm scared, let me morph. Still kind of scared, but I'm still gonna fight. Like I don't know, it felt really ditzy to me.
Yeah, but Kimberly was bold though. She was still trying to bring Tommy and talk to Tommy, knowing full well that dude was the evil Green Ranger. I'm just like, how you just walking up to this dude in the middle of school like this? I'm just like, yo. I was like, you kidding me right now? Mm-hmm. Yo, like no, real talk though. Like if I knew Tommy was the evil Green Ranger right there, it would be on site in the school. It's just like, nah. Don't whoop my ass as a Ranger. I mean, you'd have to explain why they whoop my ass, but I'm just like, nah.
No, I agree. Huh?
What I was just gonna say was, I missed so much that I had to deal with something else. But you guys just talked about being in school. How come most of the crime speeds, most of the things that they did just didn't happen during school hours? It seems like the Power Rangers are pretty confined to their actual school hours. I would just run amok from anywhere from 10 to 12 and be like, yo, ain't nothing going to happen. 10 to 1.
See, that's the thing. A lot of sometimes it did happen during school. You get that, and they just look at each other and it's like, yo, let's make it some excuse to get out of class. And it's like, that's why Bulk and Skull were always tracking these dudes. It's like, yo, where are these? This is why I love Bulk and Skull. Like, and they've been on for some like the longest of the Power Rangers series. Like, they've continued on with people, but I'm just like, Bulk and Skull, like, you think about it, it's like, yo, they had some great objectives. Like, yo, these kids are out here in the middle of a class, just leaving. This is some suspect activity right now. Real suspect.
No, in a way, Bulk and Skull are kind of like main characters.
They are, because they went through. They went all the way in space, I think.
Yeah, all the way to in space, Turbo. And then they kind of had their hero stand. Like, oh no, I'm a Power Ranger. No, I'm a Power Ranger, like Spartacus style. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a hero stand, and then many seasons passed, and then Bulk and Skull came back. Well, Bulk came back, and I think they had Skull's son as a character.
Yes.
And then, but the thing is, but I think Bulk and Skull, I think especially Skull, I think he's actually like a producer for the actual series now. So like, yeah, they're fine. They're doing well.
I was gonna say, why not? They've been in it forever.
Yeah, it might as well be.
If not on the screen, definitely behind the scenes.
Yeah. But no, I think there was definitely episodes where like Bulk and Skull figured it out that they were the Rangers, then they had to trick them into believing that they weren't the Rangers. Like, how could that really be us? Poor Bulk and Skull. Yo, and then this is around the time where we were talking about when the Rangers became Zeo. Bulk and Skull found Godar and Rito, who had lost their memories. So they befriended them and made them like best friends for like half the season. Oh my goodness, that was such a great gimmick release.
Yo, can I just say the Machine Empire is corny, dog. I hate
King
Mondo. King Mondo and his group.
Tell me why Lord Zed and Rita were so afraid
Prince
of him.
Sprocket.
Dude, it was King Mondo, Queen Machina, Prince Sprocket, and then the other prince who was disowned, Prince Gasket.
Yeah, that's right, Gasket. So I remember there was a time where Gasket and his girl came back like the second half.
Because King Mondo got destroyed when he found his sword. He was like, "I'm going to use my sword and defeat the Rangers," which he basically almost did until like the Rangers turned it around and killed him. And they all thought he was going for good, but we all know Machine Empire to just rebuild themselves after time.
Exactly. The Gaskin was trash though. The one good thing I'll give him though, but like obviously we can't talk about Power Rangers without mentioning the Gold Ranger.
Oh dude, he had his own theme song too.
He did.
Go, was it Gold Ranger?
Beast.
Go. Yeah. Dude, he was such a beast.
So it was just like Trey. What was it? He was like Trey. The Trey of Trey. 3, but he was Trey, but he had 3 different forms. Looked like when you could split, it was like
Trey of Hope,
Trey of Heart.
Yeah, Trey of Hope, Trey of Heart,
Trey of Courage, and yeah, there's 3 of those. I don't know.
I know Heart and Courage. I can't remember the third one.
I want to say Hope, but we'll go with.
But then I forgot what episode it was. But then he got badly. He got badly damaged, and guess who came to help his recovery?
It's your boy Jason, the original Red Ranger.
Jason came to take over for him, which I was wondering like, who they gonna get to take over. But there was Trey had to go somewhere to recover.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd he go to recover?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, he was like losing his power, so they transferred it to Jason, and then
he's talking before that.
No. That's what I'm talking about. No, he got hurt, so that's why he had to transfer his power to Jason while he recovered. And the people that helped in his damn recovery were those Alien Rangers. They came back again.
Yo, the Alien Rangers come back a bunch of times though. They come back a bunch of times.
I thought we were done with these dudes. At the Mighty Morphin, and then they came back in Zeo, and I'm just like, what?
Yo,
back in space
look,
too.
At least it wasn't the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm just saying.
We'll fast forward to that because I was definitely in space. We'll get
that later.
We'll get there.
But first off, let's go back just a little bit before they gave the power to Jason. Tell me why they salted my boy Billy by not giving him the power, like, Billy, because
they gave him an option. No. They gave him the option. They were like,
they gave him the option, but then I'm talking about the show. The show didn't give Billy the power, not the characters. We all knew the characters wanted to give it to Billy, but the show took it away from Billy.
So you heard the whole dispute? You heard the
I know the whole dispute. They were
talking about the show is like, no, it was a money dispute, but Billy came out in an interview like a couple of years ago, and it was like, no, it was actually because like, he's like openly gay, and he was saying like the people on the show just kept giving him crap about it. I was like, ooh, no, gotta go. Yeah. So,
but I mean, as a kid, I didn't know that, so I was mad.
I know. Yeah, Billy should have been the Gold Ranger. Like they had all this stuff because Billy kept disappearing.
But
like he go off screen.
But you knew full well like there was a bigger crowd of pop bringing Jason back.
Yeah.
Because the Gold Ranger as Trey was already beast when he just came through and did that work. So you knew when like in order to replace him, you'd have to get someone that's equally on that level where it could generate that crowd. And it was just like, bring Jason back.
Plus, Billy ain't no leader. Should have just called me. I would have been ready.
Oh no.
Haters.
At the ripe age of what, like 9?
I'm gonna fast forward just to answer that. In Turbo, they had the little kid who, when he morphed, he got taller, so I could have easily been a Power Ranger. Thank you.
That's why I also hate that because like before he morphed, he had to drive that car. Why was he still a child driving that car?
He was definitely driving illegally.
Yes, very illegally.
So based off of that, you could never have been a Ranger. You got pulled over real quick.
Oh.
Nah, the cops ain't pulling over my my Ranger car. It was too big for them.
If you driving it, they are.
Nah, it's too big.
Like, go, power. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
But again, even in Zeo,
the Black Ranger got pulled over again. Shoot, we knew we shouldn't have him give him the key.
Another stressful moment during Zeo, my man Tommy gets kidnapped and brainwashed again.
That's true. They did.
This is a topic. People keep getting kidnapped.
I was like, damn, Tommy, and brainwashed. It ain't just Not even just
Not
like
kidnapped. He
just
got brainwashed.
Kidnapped and brainwashed. It just keeps happening. I'm just like, damn. Why can't just get a Ranger that stays good?
He's the Princess Peach of the Power Rangers.
Yes.
Facts.
It's always funny. Is like, it's always like there's a theme when like there's always like that sixth Ranger or like the additional Rangers come in. Like they always got some initial beef with the Power Rangers to begin with. Even the Gold Ranger, he didn't really want to join them at first. He was just like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing." He's like, "I'm not really against you, but I ain't with you either." So,
yeah.
He's like, "I'll protect you on my own time."
Right? Oh, his costume looks suspiciously like the Black Ranger from like original Mighty Morphin. I'm like, why is he black and gold? But like they call him the Gold Ranger. I don't know.
So if you think about it, his outfit's black like the Black Ranger, but he had the gold
chest plate,
gold chest plate, like the Green Ranger. That's basically all it does. Because it's just like when Tommy took the gold chest plate from Tommy. No, when Jason took the gold chest plate from Tommy back in original when Tommy was green, and because he's like, here, take the power.
That was the start of the like battleizer modes. The start of the new Power Ranger for the leaders.
Jeez. Yeah. All right, fine.
I'm trying to think. What was big in Zeo? The breakup. Tommy and Kimberly broke up in Zeo.
Oh, that was what I was saying before. Windows was like,
that was the letter.
Update. That was the letter.
That was the letter.
Letter, dog.
I know. They didn't even want to do it on camera. Like they spent years developing romance, and they were like, "So I sent you a letter. F you, Tommy. Bye." Like,
but the thing is, it's like, they had Catherine right here there by his side. So it's like, as soon as you read the letter, she was just like, "I got you. I got you."
No. I got you. She has to have an accent, right? She's a little British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the Gold Ranger, Jason, he starts gets weaker because the Gold Ranger powers need that 3 things from Trey, who eventually sinks himself back into one person. I don't think we actually explained that, but Trey split into 3 people, so he had to split back. He had to confirm back into one person to become the Gold Ranger again.
Yeah, as he was split into 3 people, he couldn't possess the Gold Ranger power, so they gave it to Jason. But then Jason wasn't able to wield it because it was like harming him, and so like, "Yo, give it back to Trey." I was like, "All right, we'll give it back to Trey then."
Yeah.
And we get they come back. I forgot what happened, but somebody turned Billy old.
Oh, it wasn't anyone in particular. So if you remember back in Mighty Morphin when they were looking for the crystals, he used the machine on himself. They said that caused him to age rapidly. So once again, to your favorite Rangers, he went back to the Alien Rangers.
And that's what really pisses me off the most. Like, he left with the Alien Rangers, and that was the last time we ever saw Billy. And I was just like, I'm gonna stay on Aquatar because I kind of had a thing with this woman. Like,
yep.
All right, Billy, you just messing with aliens now. That's cool.
That was them trying to get him off the show. Yeah, that's like he had quit the show at that point. Yeah, he quit the show at that point, but like they had no way. Yeah, they had no way of like wrapping up the Billy character. So they were like, they had to use some stock footage of Billy. Had to use a voice that sounded like nothing like Billy's voice on the web chat.
Yep.
And then they had to use this dude that he didn't really act like Billy at all. The old dude. He's like, "Nah, man, I'm old now. I'll help out though."
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that was Billy the whole time when I was a kid.
I thought it was Billy in makeup. I
really did.
It's like, wow, this makeup is really good.
Yeah. Didn't find out till later it was just a random dude.
Yeah. It's like, "Sorry, I can't come back to the camera. I'm having too much fun." Like, no, Billy wasn't there.
And then, I forgot. No, who did? Because they beat the Machine Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And then what pissed me off though? So they beat out the Machine Empire. I'm thinking it's done, but then they had the new movie Turbo. And you know what pissed me off? Because if you didn't watch Turbo the movie, you were lost when that first episode of Turbo came out because that movie set up the start for the show.
Exactly.
I was so lost. It's like starting at that first episode of Turbo, and I'm just like, who the hell is this?
Oh, you didn't
kid?
watch the movie first?
Nah. Yo, we were so young back then. My parents did not take me to movie theaters to go see Turbo. They refused. And that first episode came back, and I'm just like, who is this little kid? I was so lost when it came to the first episode of Turbo. Like,
why are they
I had to get a recap from my friends. Like I had to go into school and it's like, yo, I had to have my friends tell me what happened during the movie before I could finally go. And it wasn't until Turbo came out on VHS that I finally saw the movie. That I was finally able to see the movie. I'm just like, oh, this is how it all started off. This makes sense.
Yeah.
You should have gone to the barbershop, dude. Got a bootleg.
True. So corny.
He right though.
Yeah.
Those bootlegs at the barbershop are legit now too. Shoot.
Blu-ray quality.
Back then, back then they weren't.
It's too bad nobody got a Blu-ray player no more.
Now they got ads.
You got your game consoles have Blu-ray. They can hate Blu-ray, so
I mean,
if you got a game console.
I don't.
No, but it was just crazy. Like watching, like let's bring it back, like to the movie. We have this recurring theme: getting kidnapped and brainwashed. Jason and Kimberly. But no, so like, what happened was, Diva Talks was going after this alien. What, Largo? Is that what's his name or something like that?
Because he had the crystal.
And, he had the crystal. How did all of their Zeo powers just go away? Because all I remember is Catherine was getting attacked, and then she jumped off of a waterfall, and she's trying to morph while she's falling, and like she falls into the water while she's morphing, and then somehow that messed up the morphing thing. And I was just like,
because Largo.
Like, now they're talking about electricity.
No, because he was kidnapped. He had something to do with the. He had something to do with the power, and then like, because remember he had his own
Zeo power.
Yeah.
With their Zeo powers reflected from his crystal. I gotta watch Turbo again.
No. So according to the recaps I read, there is no reason why they stopped using the Zeo powers. And
what I'm saying.
And the Zeo powers
make any sense.
Yeah, and the Zeo powers they're supposed to keep getting stronger as they keep keep
time
using
goes
them,
on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why they were like, no, forget that. Just get these car powers. You want these?
Yeah, because the Zeo crystals were never destroyed, to my knowledge, and I'm just like,
nope.
Yo, what?
They ran out of Japanese episodes to rip off. That's what happened.
No, they stopped plenty. They
that
stopped
happened
episodes.
That happened in space.
They stopped plenty of episodes.
But so that movie transitions so in that movie, that's when Rocky gets hurt doing that competition.
Yeah, he gets hurt doing the martial art competition. And then Justin discovers their base.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds out their power is. He just rolls up into them and they're like, Justin, what are you doing here? He's like, yo, guys, I'm the new Blue Ranger. And they just accepted it. They were like, what?
I know, real fast. They're like, okay.
Nobody talked about how he transformed higher. He got taller as he transformed.
No one talked about
that. So at that time, there was a TV show called Big Bag Beetleborgs, right? Where it was basically the Power Rangers.
Yo, Big Bag Beetleborgs is sick.
That was
right?
Don't even sleep on that.
So that was the concept of the show. Like the kids would just morph into taller people, into like adults when it became a Beetleborg. And so like
that didn't make sense to me either.
They were trying to bite that concept. So they were like, yo, okay, well, if it works for them, it can work for us. It's cool. Don't worry about it. That's how that went down.
Pretty much.
Yeah, don't sleep on Beetleborgs. Just saying.
Or VR Troopers.
But anyways, no, I didn't. I didn't really like VR Troopers. I watched it. I didn't really like it. I'm sorry. Dang.
What?
Wow.
Yo, all those Sentai shows. It was Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, Superhuman Samurai, Cyber Squad. That was just like that whole thing.
I still remember
that was Matthew Lawrence's show. They had a band. It was like, you last samurai guys, and he would strum the guitar and he would zap him into the computer.
Yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Oh, I did watch that though. I did watch that because I was like,
another Japanese
brother
B-roll
really
show that they took. Yeah, yo, that was back in the early '90s. You had the shows where it's like, we're gonna take Japanese B-roll footage.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
yo, I can't believe I forgot this from Mighty. Like I said, we jumping back and forth. Mighty Morphin, the crossover with Masked Rider. The ant guy. Like Master Rider had his own show, and he was a little
remember it.
bug, and he had the motorcycle. And you found out that Master Rider was from the same planet as Alpha 5, and they had a crossover episode with Master Rider in Power Rangers. I think that might have been like the first official like crossover during the series. I was just like, yeah, that was epic because I watched both shows.
I can honestly say I don't remember that episode. Sorry.
I don't, but I did. There was a lot of crossover things that happened, especially like I was like, "Whoa, this guy's from this show." I had no idea, but I never watched any of the other shows. But like a lot of people made cameos in the Power Rangers. I had no clue.
They really do.
Yeah.
So the jump back
Turbo,
to
I was heated.
Oh.
I was heated in Turbo because like I missed it. I didn't watch the movie, so when it first came out, I was so lost. So then I had to get the recap.
Yeah.
But Turbo, I like Turbo though.
Yeah. Did you like Alpha 6? Alpha 6 and Turbo with the New York street accent? Yo, you gotta go ahead and zap these dudes, boy.
It was the stupidest. It was the stupidest thing. It was like, oh, his wiring got mixed up. Oh no, that was when they changed the voice.
Yeah,
that was the voice
after.
when they switched.
That was after.
They switched. Yeah, they switched the voices of Alpha 5. It was like, oh, because the wiring. But then Alpha 5 left with Zordon.
Yep.
And then came out with Alpha 6. And what was the black lady's name?
Demetria.
Yeah, I think it was like Demetria or Demetria.
Yeah.
But
did they have the story like her and Diva Talks were sisters?
Yes, it's never explicitly said, but her and Diva Talks are actually supposed to be sisters. Even when Diva Talks like finally becomes like good, like she shows her face real quick, and apparently it looks just like Demetria's face. So
Demetria's black though.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Diva Talks, she had a little color to her when she finally got.
Diva Talks is a real light skin. Diva Talks is real light skin, if not white.
Go to that tanning booth.
Diva Talks is white. She's straight up.
Yin Yang twins. Yin Yang, science.
They didn't call them twins back.
Yeah.
So then Turbo also had another switching of the Rangers where Tommy, Adam, Tanya, and Kat left, and they were replaced by TJ, Carlos, Ashley, and Cassie. And this was the very first time they had a black person lead as the Red
Selden
Ranger.
Ward. The funny thing about that is like all the, when we in our group text, I was telling you about the Power Morphin cons. Like whenever TJ comes in, he introduces himself, Selden Ward, first black leader of the Power Rangers. It's awesome. Like that's his introduction, and it's hilarious. Because TJ was a beast.
Yeah, so TJ was red, Carlos was green, Ashley was yellow, and Cassie was pink, and Justin stayed as the Blue Ranger. But
that's correct. They switched up the whole lineup.
Yeah, they changed the whole cast. That made a lot of people mad. They were like, "Yo, y'all can't do that."
Yeah.
The only reason why they were mad is because the black guy was the lead. Don't matter about the whole rest of the cast.
They were mad about everything too. Like they were like used to the characters. I think this was the first time they actually had like basically the full cast switch mid-season. Because Mighty Morphin, you had they just walked out because due to money contract. But this was like we're switching to a new cast of Rangers halfway through the season. They give them up, but I still remember that because like the city was getting attacked and it was just like, yo, we gotta. I think first they met Cassie and TJ like on some bus, and that the bus was getting attacked, and then I think what was it? Cassie and TJ ended up in some type of cave, kidnapped in the cave so they had to protect them. See, this is what I'm talking about. How everybody getting kidnapped, man? Like everybody's always getting kidnapped. Like damn, Ranger, stop getting kidnapped.
I know. They needed Liam Neeson badly.
Yeah, but Adam
the Neeson Ranger.
Like Adam and Carlos, they were already friends, like doing training before. And then I forgot how Tanya and Ashley made that connection. But I know Kimberly and Tommy met Cassie and TJ during that whole bus incident. And then Carlos.
Wait, you mean Kat and Tommy? You said Kimberly.
My bad, Kat and Tommy.
Yeah.
Kat and Tommy met Cassie and TJ during the whole bus incident. I just can't remember how Tanya and Ashley were
And Ashley
connected.
met.
But yeah, because like they had the connection, so they transferred the power. It's like, okay.
Yep.
That was so unexpected.
But I mean,
I had no idea what was going on.
I didn't either, but that's actually how they set up like the presidents for Rangers changing every season.
Right.
That was kind of like their
That
first
way
iteration of it.
They can just cycle them out and like, you know,
Mhm.
they ain't gotta pay them no more, you know.
Yeah. Now they're just getting new teenagers with attitude. But
so of course with every Ranger season, you have to have that additional companion. How did y'all feel about the Blue Centurion?
dude, that thing was corny.
That dude is the corniest dude.
Oh, come on, man. That's they tried it. They tried it.
And then of course he was a cop, so you know I has to feel some type of way.
And he was from the future. He was from the year 2000, and I forget what year Turbo came out, but I was like, holy crap, he's from the future. But
well, yeah, he foretold the prophecy, the 2000 prophecy. It's gonna come true.
Oh, that Zordon was gonna get kidnapped.
Yeah.
No, that's who was gonna take over the world. Someone was gonna take over the world.
Oh, it was
the alliance of evil something.
Yeah.
Everyone was coming together.
Yeah, the alliance of evil will be defeated by a new group of Power Rangers that nobody recognizes. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why they kept going after the kid, because he was one of them. Justin or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
It was a cop car, and then his Megazord was trash too. I'm just like, yo.
It was.
I'm like, your Megazord was corny. How many the space for Turbo, they had like two different sets of Zords. Like they had the regular vehicles that combined with the Zord, but then like didn't they have like the super vehicles as well that combined? I feel like they had like two different sets of Megazords.
They actually did have two Megazords for the series, but yeah, I forgot that also means two vehicles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did they get an upgrade? I can't remember.
I know when Turbo
they had the regular
two.
Zord. Then it was just like, there was like, I think like the vehicles that like contained the Zords became their own Zords as well.
Oh,
but I remember there was two Megazords.
Yeah, there was two in Turbo, and I think at some point in like space there was three. Like, yo, how many Megazords do you need?
Oh, there was a completely.
Oh, in Space State.
We'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get to that.
The time is now. No. Hold on. We're not. Oh, we haven't made it there yet. Sorry. Yeah. I really want to talk about Evil Ninja Turtles.
I can't really think. There wasn't too. I mean, Turbo was kind of like. It was good because they had a sweet theme song and they had the Turbo movie, but I'm gonna jump right into In Space because to finish off Turbo.
Thing is, to finish off Turbo, once again the command center blows up, but I forget how.
I was about to say that. Honestly, I don't remember who blew it up. Oh, Diva Talks. They took over.
Yeah.
She took over the command center. So this is what happened.
Was it her brother?
Wasn't
her brother who actually blew it up?
You're thinking of Rita in the first in Zeo.
You're thinking of wrong one.
Mighty Morphin. Because Diva Talk didn't have a brother. She just had that egghead goon.
No. She had a nephew.
She had some kind of relative that was a little bit more badass than she was.
Why don't I remember this dude?
I don't know.
No, she also had her husband, or was it Dark Spectre?
No, that's for space. That's for space.
Oh, that's for space. Okay, go on, dude.
Maybe I'm too early.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, Diva Talks had Elgar.
Yeah, her nephew.
That stupid egghead dude. That was her nephew. I didn't realize
that was her nephew.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So to finish off, so they attacked the command center. She blew it up, and she was literally on the verge to killing the Rangers, and then Dark Spectre hit her up and was like, yo, fall back. I got Zordon and Alpha. We about to drain his power. And she's like, all right, you're the boss. And she fell back. And the Rangers overheard that, and that's why they went into space. Except for Justin, he stayed back.
They have to go. They have to go to NASA. NASA was just like, "Yo, we got you."
Nasada.
Nasada, Nasada, because can't get sued.
Yeah.
Did you notice that in a lot of animes, just like in animes, they would have like, especially taking stuff from like Japanese codes, like in anime, instead of McDonald's, they have like Whack-Donald's with a
Whack Arnold's.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, yo, you guys don't even try to hide it. And it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
But then, so they go into space, and that's when. So what got me mad is just like, it gave me a first black leader of the Power Rangers. But it's funny, it's like if you watch any of like the Power Morphicons on YouTube, like the Turbo Rangers, like they say like space, they love space more because space was their very own series instead of them coming in and taking over for the original game. Yeah. So they like saying, and I love space because that's when we meet my guy Andros.
Yeah. That golden hair. He should have been the Gold Ranger.
Nah. But he had a sick intro episode where he comes in and kind of saves Zordon. I believe that's what his intro episode was, right? Because he was a Lone Ranger at first.
Yep.
He didn't believe
from the very beginning.
Yeah, he didn't believe.
Oh yeah. He was trying to save Zordon. Yeah, because in the very beginning he came in with his glider, shot them lasers to get Zordon. I mean, they still ended up taking Zordon.
Yeah, they did. They still. That's why I said kind of tried to save him. Didn't really come through. But
no, but Space may be one of my favorite series.
No, I thought it was sick. What'd you think? The Silver Surfer. I was like, when he came on board, I was
Zane?
like, yes,
Zane.
When he came on board, I was like, in all honesty, for some odd reason, I kept referencing him like Silver Surfer, Silver Ranger. Like I was putting them together. Obviously, they're two different genres altogether, but Silver Ranger.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, yo, the Silver Surfer made an appearance in Power Rangers. I'm really not caught up.
Nah, but Silver Ranger was a beast. Because what happened was, Zane is Andros' best friend, but Andros was keeping I think he got hurt or something. So he was kept in like some cryo chamber on the spaceship the entire time,
frozen.
And he was hidden from the Rangers, and the Rangers finally discovered him. And it was like, yo, what's going on? So then Andros told him the story about Zane, and then all of a sudden it's like, yo, the chamber opened up and he was free. I was like, yo,
let's go.
Through.
Yeah, he was a beast, but then his powers kept cutting out, right? That toy.
His powers didn't cut out, though. His powers didn't cut out.
I know, it's weird. He was there, but for some reason, he was a recurring person. He kept getting these side missions that he had to go on. So
because he still worked for their federation, right? Whatever the Space Ranger Federation.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like, this guy's your strongest character, and he's just like. Although I will give it to when the Red Ranger got that battleizer mode. Ooh,
he was fresh.
Tell
me why they imprinted that 8-pack. They imprinted that 8-pack on him. Yo, I was like, yo, he's not that
getting new armor. He got an 8-pack. I couldn't believe it. And the thing is, he got that battle armor because the kid was messing around with his morpher. First of all, why are you letting some little kid mess around with your morpher?
Right?
You don't even know. It's you're supposed to keep your identity as a Power Ranger a secret. Then you got some little kid pressing buttons on your morpher, which it worked out. But I was like, how did you not know about this?
I don't. Why don't you play with the buttons on your morpher? You should press these buttons at some point.
I'd be like,
or considering you're the leader, you should know what these buttons do.
Yeah, he's like,
why did nobody else get a battleizer mode?
That's a good point.
The green and blue Ranger had their sort of mode, but it was like, nah, that didn't count.
But you can finally talk about that cameo you wanted to talk about, Jamil.
So the Ninja Turtles came in. It was actually their makeup and hair and everything was terrible. Let's be honest. But they come in and they're like, "Yo, we're in the same universe. We're gonna save you guys. We're gonna help you do this, do that." And it turns out they were brainwashed, and they try to kidnap the Power Rangers and attack them. I'm like, no way. This is
so for anybody who doesn't understand. At the time of Power Rangers in Space, there was also a live action Ninja Turtle show on Fox Kids.
Correct.
So that's where that's why we were able to do a crossover.
Yeah, it was
a live action Ninja Turtles.
23 episodes, and 2 of those episodes were compilation episodes. I did the research on this, and I was like, how in a 23 season, like that means you have 21 episodes, and you put 2 compilation episodes. How is that a thing? You know how hard it was?
Like this Ninja Turtle series added a 5th girl, Venus.
Yo.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Light blue.
Not gonna lie though. I love that theme song though. Na 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 ninja. Ninja Turtles.
That's not the one on Ty's phone.
Nah, I got the original. Respect.
Oh, you gotta have still. I mean, nothing beats the original, but like that still got me. But like, no, that crossover, and if you're funny, like Andros, like Christopher Kamen Lee, the actor who played Andros, he absolutely hates that crossover episode. Absolutely hates it. It was the worst. But no,
so funny.
The reason why Space is really one of my all-time favorites, though, the mother effing Psycho Rangers. Oh my goodness! The Psycho Rangers are straight up, hands down, some of the most hardcore villains in Power Rangers history. I've never seen, like, we talked about how like the Mighty Morphin Rangers getting their ass kicked by Tommy left and right. This is nothing compared to what the Psycho Rangers did. Nothing compared to what the Psycho Rangers did to the Space Rangers.
Psycho Rangers drew their power from Dark Spectre's, literally the strongest evil person in the universe, and they were just coming down, whooping the Rangers left and right. Like, they couldn't do anything. I'm still shocked that they were able to survive the Psycho Rangers. Like, they got
every single time they got their asses whipped. And there was the one part they thought they had the advantage. They're like, yo, they're like, oh, you know what? Since they can match us being the wrestlers, let's switch it up. Let's switch who we fight. Red Ranger, you're going to attack the Black Ranger. It's like, oh yeah, that's what I did. They had so that they thought they were good. They're like, okay, so we'll switch it up. And it's just like that worked for like all of like 5 seconds, and the Psycho Ranger just went back to their actual Ranger color and beat the living crap out of them.
Yeah.
So then Zane came through. He's like, you know what? This is the problem. He's like, oh, we lined them up. He's just like, they've been able to match us. What if we're all one color?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, boo. And again, that worked for all of like 5 seconds. They still got work.
They got work. They
still got work. But here's the genius part. Not only did it get work, the Psycho Rangers were just like, you know what? We ain't gonna get got like this again. They analyzed their voices. They analyzed their voice pattern. So now they were able to tell the Rangers by what they said, because there was an episode like, and then Cassie found out because the Psycho Rangers also had human forms as well. I think by that time they were, I think they killed the pink and blue Psycho Ranger at the time. So you still had red, black, it was yellow. I think it was the yellow Psycho Ranger that got destroyed. And then maybe the blue. I know there was the only time where I think it was just the red, the black, and pink.
Yep.
And just the 3 of them, and they were still whooping ass. It was just like, yo, we know your voice. We know your voice.
Yeah, these dudes were so badass that when they died, they even came back as like ghosts with malice. Like, yo, they were still on the show as ghosts. It was the craziest thing. I was like, whoa.
And so the Psycho Rangers had human form, a Ranger form, and then even a monster form.
Yo.
Yeah.
Even a monster form. It was so genius, and I couldn't believe. I was just like, wow.
I'm really surprised that didn't just end the Rangers. Like, that should have just done it.
It should have, but it didn't. They persisted. Nevertheless, they persisted.
Plot device. Plot device. Psycho Rangers were beast. Oh, but ultimate plot twist. which again, I'm me in my young age watching Power Rangers in space, or I'm not even thinking about this. To find
Are you
out,
talking about the main villain?
yeah,
Oh,
Astronomer was
yeah.
Andros' sister the whole time.
Yo, mind blown when that
Yeah.
happened. I was like, what? That's his sister. And then I was like, nah, you can't kill her. You can fight her. You can try and talk to her, but you can't kill her. That's your sister. That's your blood, fam.
Because she got kidnapped by Darkonda.
Yeah.
He was
And
they were children.
brainwashed. It was
My
like,
thing, it was like, how is there like, why is there a recording of the sister getting kidnapped? Like you see Andros' storyline, but you see Andros like you see it in the recap, like they're kids and they're playing with whatever with that orb, and their sister getting kidnapped. But then like you see Andros just rewatching the video in different time periods throughout the show. I'm just like, how do you have a video recording of your sister getting kidnapped?
Yeah. And then
Why don't
not
you show
be
it to
able
her?
to find her.
Yeah, because things like for somehow like it wasn't until like later on in the season that he actually did the freeze frame. He's like, oh wait, that was Darkonda the whole time. I was like, you couldn't tell from that
Bro.
scaly orange body. You couldn't tell from that body that was this dude. And I will say these Power Rangers in space also had one of my favorite villains, Ecliptor. Ecliptor was beast as well.
Oh, yo, he looked beast. Like his armor,
Yeah.
he looked
Yes.
like
Just with the sword.
Yoshimitsu from Tekken.
Oh,
with
yeah. I
the
know
black
you're
and
talking-
green. Yeah, he
Mhm.
was cool. He was cool. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
And it's
space
like-
was also. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Ecliptor was like he wasn't just like an actual like idiot general. This dude was a hardcore beast, and he was smart and he was strong and evil. But I will say this: he, as evil as he was, he still had a spot. He wanted to make sure Astronomer, he protected Astronomer. Like that was his. He was loyal,
He had a
loyal
soft
to
spot for him.
Astronomer
Yeah,
to
I
the
was gonna
end.
say loyal, super loyal.
He was loyal to the
Yeah.
end.
That's why when he came in and
So-
Astronomer was down on the ground on the command center, he was like, "Yo, I'm taking these Power Rangers out." And it's like, "Yo, Andros, like, yo, break the vial." It's like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to." Sorry, if you're gonna say something else, because this is like the end. I don't want to.
Yeah. So leading up to what you're talking about, what I was going to say was In Space had one of the most epic universe battles because they had everyone fighting. They had the Alien Rangers fighting.
I can't never get rid of these dudes.
So like all the evil people you could think of, Divatox from Turbo, Rita and Lord Zed from Mighty Morphin, the Machine Arm Empire from Zeo. They were all fighting. Who's it? Blue Centaurian was back. The Gold Ranger, who was Trey. Yep. Like everyone was fighting everyone in the air. All the other
The prophecy
planets and all
came
that
true.
stuff.
They had that alliance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it leads up to what you were talking about, Jamil.
Then she's in the command center with the Red Ranger, and he's like, got her on the ground, and freaking Ecliptor comes in, and he's like, "What did you do?" And then all of a sudden, he gets his ass handed to him, and like Zordon's like, "Yo, you gotta break the tank. You gotta break the tank." And he's like, "I don't want to." It's like, "You gotta do it," and so he breaks it. And
so just to clear it for everyone.
Sorry.
When he's saying break the tank, Zordon's referring to destroying himself.
Yeah. His own tank. Zordon's own. He don't have a body, so he's like, my good will flow through the universe and it'll cleanse all the evil. And I'm like, oh, all right. I'll live on in the hearts of everybody else. Don't you worry about me. And I was like, oh, all right. That doesn't make any sense. And then he's just like, sword, bow, God, got you. Goodbye,
and that's another
Zordon.
thing. Christopher came in lead. Hates talking about that as well. He's like, somebody's like, yo, you killed Zordon. I was just like, he has to live with that, being the Ranger that kills Zordon. It's real. But no, don't forget, like, even before that, like, because you're saying Ecliptor, like, at that time, he was no longer Ecliptor. He was Dark Cliptor because Darkonda took over his body. Darkonda took over. Oh, that's so Andros. So yeah, like I said, we're jumping back. So Andros finds out that Astronomer is his sister Chrome. And he's trying to talk her back. He's like, yo, you got kidnapped. You got brainwashed. And he's bringing her back to the good side. Also, her and Silver Ranger kind of had a thing.
Yep.
And so he's bringing her back. But then it's just like, before she come all the way, she gets kidnapped back. She gets taken back by the Darkonda. And he gives her this like brain thing. He inputs this like brain chip on her head.
Oh yeah,
Ecliptor.
That
Because
weird
Ecliptor
thing.
tried to, because Ecliptor tried to like again, like I said, Ecliptor was loyal to Astronomer no matter what. So and like obviously that caused problems for Darkonda. So he took care of him. He had
Clip
to
that.
beat Ecliptor, and then they fused and became Dark Cliptor.
Mhm.
But mainly Darkonda was so it's just like, oh, now that Astronomer is like we can have Astronomer becoming good again. She can get her memories back. It's just like shoot, mind control.
Dude, she became mega evil after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then she became that redhead. She became with the red wig instead.
Yeah.
Of the actual like purple style hair.
She liked changing her hair. It was a little weird. It was like,
Yeah.
looking at clips, I'm like, yo, her hair is different again in this episode. That's weird.
Yep.
She's just staying with the fashion trends. That's all.
All right, that's cool.
But yeah, that last, honestly, that like the countdown to destruction, those final 2 episodes were like they were breaking because the Power Rangers got their asses handed to them. They weren't even able to like morph again.
I was about to say that.
You had that whole scene Jamil was talking about where just like everybody was like, they finally really like, yo, I'm a Power Ranger. But then everybody was like, no, I'm a Power Ranger. I'm a Power Ranger. I'm a Power Ranger. Like, now we're not going to let you take down our city. And like, they started fighting back.
So just to clarify for everyone.
Yeah, they held the Earth captive, hostage. And so like, they were like, yo, we're going to blow this planet up if the Power Rangers don't show themselves. It's either them or you. What are you going to do? And so like, they were waiting. And then we have, I'm not going to call him Biff. Bulk and Skull. I'm like, Biff. No, wrong TV show. Bulk and Skull stand up and like, no, I'm the Black Ranger. And he's like, nah, I'm the Blue Ranger. And then a bunch of other people stand up. It's like, I'm Spartacus. I'm like, no, wait, what?
that was basically what that was like, I am Spartacus moment.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, that like gave me goosebumps because I was like, yo, I'm a freaking Power Ranger too. Let's do this.
I'm glad that they finally got like a hero up moment though. Like they've been in the series this entire time and they have like small moments, but like finally they were like, no, I'm going to do this. My captain.
They're also really old. Just want to
yeah, they can't be teenagers with attitude.
But here's the thing. So my thing was like, this is how a testament to like how powerful Zordon was, because when Andros breaks his craze, Zordon releases a wave of energy, and all the evil people who were human turned into good people. they were
Rita and Zed.
Like Rita and Zed became like good humans. I mean, the Machine Emperor got wiped. Diva Tox became a regular human. Her nephew was like, "Oh, we just turning people into humans now." Yeah, like they're like, "Damn, Zordon, you got to like that."
Astronomer became good again. All the evil wiped out of her.
Yep.
Where
was Demetra the whole time? Where's Demetra that whole time?
Gone.
Wait, Demetra? She was gone. I didn't even know where she was, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She just bounced when they went to space.
No, she left with Alpha 6 to go find Zordon, but I don't know what they never elaborated on that. It was like she bounced and like we were like, peace out.
Never again.
She got lost on the way, man. Who knows?
Yeah. Also, to bring up something Jamil mentioned before, Power Rangers Space had so many Megazords. You had the regular spaceship that turned into a Zord. You had Silver Rangers, Zord. And then you had there was another one where I think NASA sent up some ships to them, or Nasada.
Yeah, because there was one time where their ship wasn't able to like, because they couldn't transform for some odd reason, so they sent up the NASA one. So that's like their backup one.
Yeah, it was like Nasada sent us like some super shuttle or whatever, where they found a new spaceship.
One of them got destroyed by I think the Cycle Rangers, right? Something like that. One of those things got taken out. I know they didn't end it with the same amount at the beginning with.
Well, it couldn't have been the main spaceship because they flew back in that.
Yeah, no.
I think it was the one the Sada sent up.
Oh, all right.
The shuttle one. The shuttle one.
It was expendable.
Hold on.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say, I love how Rita and Zed were like rolling through the moon in like an RV. It's like Breaking Bad style. Like, yo, what's going on here? And then like, actually, I totally forgot about this. Like, right when they beat the Machine Kingdom, like the Power Rangers beat them, but then they went to the moon and like, they met up with Rita and Zed was like, here's a peace offering, here's a gift, and then they like drive away, and that ish explodes. like you see it in the rearview mirror, and they're like, Zed's like, nah, I'm not even looking back at that. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I did my thing. That was funny.
Oh man.
Yeah. So they had the Astro Mega Ship. Zane had his Zord. And yeah, then the Sada space shuttle had like the Astro Mega Shuttle Zord.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
But yeah, the Delta Mega Ship.
The Delta Mega Ship. Good lord.
that sounds like something that they would make like American, like, so you just know that's from Earth.
Yeah, that's the USS Captain Mega Ship.
Yo, I completely forgot about that. Yo, the Phantom Ranger.
Oh
I
yeah,
completely forgot Phantom Ranger. It came through.
dude.
I was so obsessed with like I was so obsessed with like so tight on the Blue Centurion. I forgot there was a Phantom Ranger and Power Rangers Turbo. They never revealed his identity.
Nah,
Yeah.
and he actually had cool because he straight up didn't he go invisible a bunch and just like knock people out, or is that someone else? Did I confuse him up?
He might have.
I heard they had
I just
plans to reveal his identity, but it never actually panned out. It got cut out of a couple episodes because they were running out of funding.
Bad hit.
Bad
See, Turbo
hit.
didn't even last long. Yeah, but any other stuff you guys want to talk about for Power Rangers, or running a little late?
I think we hit it.
I mean, the last one we are running late. Obviously, the last one if that was Lost Galaxy, but we can. If we want to say that for a different time.
I think the death of Zordon was too much for me, and
we'll talk about future Power Rangers later time. Give you time to catch up, do the recaps.
Yeah.
How
the
dare
death
you?
of Zordon is too much for me.
How dare you make me watch Power Rangers?
I was like, you don't even gotta watch the whole thing. I'm telling you, YouTube those season recaps in like an hour. You basically get the understanding of the show.
Yo, there are so many episodes of this thing. Like, there was a half-hour recap for season 1 of Mighty Morphin, another half-hour for season 2. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna have to listen to these. I listened to them while I was cutting my hair yesterday. Oh man, it was dedication. Got a notebook. Got about 7 pages of notes on this, man.
Just reading through as we start.
Yeah. Father was looking at my notebook today, like, what is MMPR? I'm like, don't you worry about that.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
All I want to do is go back to watching Digimon.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, man. All right. Chris, do you want to send us off?
And I ain't said anything for the last 30 minutes.
Welcome back, Chris. This is Anime Bros.
I'm just smiling over here looking like an idiot. All right. So basically, you guys got caught up on all the Power Ranger stuff, and we still got more Power Ranger stuff. So we'll put that into another episode. If you like this episode, if you learned something, like and subscribe. Please share with your friends. And until next time, Annie out.
Annie out. Wait. It's more of a time.
My bad. All right.